It's funny to come back to this planet after so many centuries and see how much this humanity has changed. Last time we came for a visit, we lived for some time with the Mayas in a place they called Guatemala.
Do you think that these aborigines have changed that much in all these years?
I bet they are not the same they used to be all those years ago. Last time I was here must have been some 3,000 earthly years ago.
At that time, what did you learn about these people? Anything really called your attention?
In fact, I must admit that I was drawn to their understanding of how they were created and how two twin gods somehow shaped the way they were at that time. It's been said that the lords of Xibalbá enjoyed the Mayan ball game, but oftentimes they were disturbed by the noise of the players when they were not invited to play. No wonder that they were so cruel that they killed the ball players when they were discovered playing, or when, playing against the lords, they lost the game.
Two young twin gods, Hunahpú and Ixbalanqué, whose father had previously been killed by the lords of Xibalbá, became really good at the game. When the news got to the ears of the lords, they were invited to play in Xibalbá against them. And since they were the rulers, Hunahpú and Ixbalanqué turned down the offer, and their mother and grandma feared the worst for them, their death.
Anyone who was invited to play with the Xibalban lords had to overcome a series of tests or challenges. If they failed, they were simply killed. That is why the guests never came back to their towns and families. These lords were a bunch of tricksters who enjoyed their evilness and seeing their guests suffer and then die.
When Hunahpú and Ixbalanqué arrived in Xibalbá, the first challenge to overcome was to identify the lords by telling them apart from the mannequins. In other words, they needed to greet them by their name correctly. If not, they would be simply killed. To ensure their success, the twin gods sent a mosquito to bite the lords. So when they came into Xibalbá, not only they were able to identify the lords, but also to greet them by their names.
When the twins refused to sit down in front of the Xibalban lords, since they had already smelled danger, the lords sent them to the dark house to spend the night. The brothers were given pipes to smoke and firewood to cook, but they were not supposed to use them since the next day they had to return what was given to them. For that reason, Hunahpú and Ixbalanqué put fireflies in their pipes to pretend that they were smoking and put some more onto the firewood to make the lords believe that they were cooking. But the next day, the Xibalban gods were astonished when they returned the pipes and the firewood.
The ball game started early in the morning, but the twin gods already knew the kind of dreadful ball the lords of Xibalbá used in their games to kill their opponents. Knowing that the lords wanted to kill them with the ball, they refused to continue the game unless they used their rubber ball. The Xibalban lords accepted and won the game. For that reason, Hunahpú and Ixbalanqué were sent to the razor house to be killed by the numerous deadly knives they could find there. But they came out of that house with petals for the lords that had been collected by their friends, the leaf-cutting ants that also lived in the cave.
Every challenge was overcome by the twin gods, and the lords of Xibalbá were becoming more and more furious with every defeat they got in the ball games and in their evil challenges. Now, the lords of Xibalbá wanted to take the twin brothers into entering a gigantic oven to burn them alive. But Hunahpú and Ixbalanqué offered to entertain the Xibalban lords at no cost. So, they took a dog of theirs, killed it, cut it into pieces, and then put everything together and have the animal come back to life again.
The Xibalban lords were amazed, delighted by what they were seeing. The Hunahpú did the same with Ixbalanqué, cut into pieces, put it together, and came back to life. And as soon as the lords saw that, they wanted to participate in the game. They wanted to be cut into pieces and then put together to continue living. The twin brothers cut the lords and never put them back together. The Xibalban lords had been killed and done away.
When the twin gods came back to the surface of the earth triumphantly, They were treated with great respect because they had ended the ruling of the evil lords. And the other gods were so thankful that they were given a special place in the skies. That was the time in which the first day on earth took place, because the brothers rose to the sky, and Hunahpú became the sun, and Ixbalanqué the moon.
Wow, that's an incredible legend, don't you think? It is a very imaginative way to explain how they came to be and live in this planet.
I agree. It is a very poetic way, as humans would say, to explain how they got to be created and how evilness and goodness exist.